Greetings, fellow Lions, and welcome to the West Virginia Lions Leadership School. My name is Past Council Chair Steve Glass. I currently serve as the Multiple District Leadership Development Chairperson for Multiple District 29. At the request of Billy Nichols, who currently serves our site foundation as its president, I have put together a short briefing for newer Lions and even the seasoned Lions who may need a refresher on how a club, how a Lion, how an applicant accesses the West Virginia Lion Site Conservation Foundation and its services. Over the past several months, at the request of the foundation, I've been conducting training for district service coordinators, and what I wanted to impart to you today here at the Leadership School is some of the aspects of that training. As I mentioned a few moments ago, district service coordinators are dispersed geographically across a district. They are the liaison between the foundation and the club and individual Lions. When a club gets a request that is either for surgery or some special eye care need or hearing aids, a club contacts that district service coordinator, and the district service coordinator uses due diligence in establishing financial means, financial need for the applicant, much like the club does for eyeglasses, and that district service coordinator has the unfettered discretion to bind the site foundation by processing that application and deciding that that applicant needs the assistance and binds the foundation upon the district service coordinator's finding. So it's a very high standard of care that a district service coordinator must exercise and must use due diligence in exercising their authority under the Site Foundation's Constitution and Policy Manual. Now, I would point out to you that the names of the district service coordinators can be found in the multiple district directory. If you are a site chair in your club, I would stress upon you that you should have a copy of the multiple district directory. It has all that contact information. Also, the West Virginia Lions Site Conservation Foundation has a website, and that website is www.westvirginiasite.org. Those names and all the contact information can be located on that website from the link to District Service Coordinator. We're also going to be talking in a few minutes about due diligence and how you process an application through the foundation. That also can be found under the Site Foundation's governance link from that same website. To illustrate how one accesses services through the foundation from a club level, we have a local Lion from the Clarksburg area who wants to ask me a question.
Steve, as a member of our club site committee, what do I do if an applicant needs surgery or hearing aids?
It's a good question, Mary. As a club, you have the autonomy to process, obviously, requests for eyeglasses. That's what every Lions club has is its basic mission and is charged to do. Every club should have a written application. The trustees, in applying and redoing the policy manual over the past few months, recognized that one of the things that we weren't doing is having clubs do the requests for surgeries and hearing aids. So the Site Foundation will only process an application now upon a request from the club. You, as a member of the site committee or as the site chair, when you recognize that that need is over and above eyeglasses, you go ahead and process the application just like you would a simple application for eyeglasses. You get all the necessary information. You establish, you or the club or the board or the committee of your club establishes the financial eligibility of the applicant. Then you get in contact with one of the district service coordinators, preferably the one who services your area. You provide that approved club application You note on it, obviously, that it's going to be not eyeglasses, it's going to be a surgical need or something, a hearing aid or something more than just eyeglasses. That district service coordinator works with you from that point. Now, one of the things we've recognized over the past several years and months is that in the northern part of the state, we have the West Virginia University Eye Institute. That group has established different criteria than clubs, for example, in other areas of the state. If you know that the applicant can get to WVU Eye Institute, that district service coordinator along with you will contact WVU. They have a different form. It's also on the website, one of the forms on the Sight Foundation's website. But the district service coordinator then takes it upon the club's request, does a due diligence review, just like you have at the club level, and determines whether or not that person is eligible. If they're eligible for assistance at WVU based upon their criteria, then the service is free to the foundation. Any club, any district service coordinator has the autonomy to work with local optometrists, local ophthalmologists to get reduced rates for the applicant. The point I really want to make is that due diligence means that the club always has a vested interest in that case. The district service coordinator always has a vested interest in an applicant, and working together, you make sure that the financial need is met, that the person provides the information, that the person gets to an appointment when it's set, and that you follow up with that person. I have known of cases before the Sight Foundation where it's easy to say, well, I referred this person for treatment and they never got an appointment or they were denied. In many cases, you have to determine what is denied. In some instances, you may have, and I really want to point this out, you may have a person who is sitting home alone. You may have somebody who's moderately illiterate. You may have an elderly person who's had a stroke. They may not even be able to lift a pen. They can't fill out an application. So due diligence means that you do more than simply call on the telephone. You have to make a home visit. You have to find out what that person's condition is. If it's somebody who may be a quadriplegic, you may have to help them with the application. But between the club and the district service coordinator, no one should fall through the cracks. If WVU schedules an appointment, they should let the district service coordinator know and follow up with them as well as the club when that appointment is scheduled. Many Lions provide a valuable service across this state by making sure that an applicant, some who may be quite a few miles removed from WVU, gets the transportation there. We used to have Lions come from the Eastern Panhandle and bring applicants for their appointments to Morgantown almost on a weekly basis. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about when we talk about due diligence. Now, we have different standards across the state. What I was just outlining was what WVU does. There's still a due diligence factor that the district service coordinator must exercise in that surgeries may run X thousands of dollars. The medical community will work with us. Due diligence means that you try to get the most service at the least affordable price. It's like recruiting new members in Lionism. You must ask. Because the going rate is, say, $2,000, a lot of professional service providers across this state, when they see that lion emblem and they know it's a Lions case, they may do it for half the price. They may give you a free one for a paid service. Due diligence means it's incumbent upon us being the members of the club and the district service coordinators, to try to negotiate that best price, best service for the lowest price. That's a due diligence factor.